Yo, y'all, that little intro jam, just the jam, ain't it? And it gets you in the mood for what we're going to discuss tonight. Scenes from a Marriage, y'all. That finale just dropped. And guys, we got to discuss and spill all the tea that happened on that episode. I got my same panel back from last week. And guys, we're so excited to talk about it. But if you're new to the channel, what's going on? I'm Leo Rydell. And this is Geekly Goods, where we talk the latest in movies, TV, a little sprinkle of anime in there for you as well. Be sure to hit that big red subscribe button for videos on the latest. And guys, we're going to dive right into this. But let me get my guests in first. First up, I got from the ChillyBoy Productions YouTube channel and Cinemania World team, Larry. What up, man? How you doing?
Hey, glad to be back talking Scenes of a Marriage with y'all again. And yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, welcome in. Welcome in. We got Halloween Kills this week.
Ooh.
Got some good little horror movies on the horizon, don't we?
See what I'm gonna do about this Peacock business. You know, we'll see.
Because I'm gonna be watching on Peacock as well, bro.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be watching online. But we got one more guest on tonight's panel from the Cinemania World team. Hannah, what's going on?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Emotional after that episode. Yeah, girl.
I mean,
I
for
was
real.
Yeah, I was like listening to Adele after and everything. Like I was going through it.
Not Adele.
I mean, Hannah was like, "Hello from the other side." Okay, we started it up.
No. I was listening to 21.
Oh.
The real heartbreak.
Excuse me. The real emotional turner there, right there.
Yes.
All right, but guys, I decided to do a little bit more recappy this week. Last week, I was kind of like, what the fuck are we talking about again? And I decided to go through and dot things out this time. So the episode starts the opposite way of all the other episodes. Last week, we talked about this a little bit, Hannah, and I remember you saying it was a little less effective to have them walk on in the beginning. Well, they do the opposite this time. No walk-ons. How'd you guys feel about that? Did it take away from anything? Did it change the experience for you at all? Or
no, I preferred it.
Yeah.
Right. I prefer to just dive right into, just get right to it. And guys, I gotta say, spoiler warning. If you're watching this, spoilers, okay? Because we going right into it, and this is your one and only warning. We're diving into spoilers. All right, y'all. So the episode starts, and we've kind of got two different scenes going on. Jonathan's father, correct? His father had passed on.
Mm-hmm.
And him and his mother were having a conversation after leaving the funeral. And then you've got Mira, who is also having a conversation with Polly. And it looks like that conversation with Polly is not going that well. They've definitely been together for a little while throughout the series. And it's not said until later in the episode, but there has been 4 years between last episode and this episode. So another decently big time jump between the two episodes. What did you guys think about them kind of diving into a little bit different out of the house and starting things off outside at a funeral and with Polly? I guess, how did you feel about seeing Polly's relationship with her? Because we hadn't really seen like them interact until this episode.
Well, Polly didn't look like I anticipated.
Not at all.
Such like a, I don't know, Jersey Shore name that I guess I didn't know what I was ready for, but it wasn't that. It looked good though. I was like, oh, okay, Jessica, I see what drew you in for Polly, I guess. But
he's no Oscar Isaac though.
No, he's not. He's not Oscar Isaac. That's for dang sure. But yeah, I thought it was interesting seeing their actual interaction. Obviously, he caught right quick that she was evading him generally. And I mean, it was a little bit harsh, but I also liked the way they ended it, of him just being like, look, I actually wish I just never met you. Because, this sucks. Thought like loving you and you just not knowing how to be in a relationship at all. It sucks. So it was harsh, but I mean, it's kind of what we've been observing with her throughout the series. So it didn't feel like unwarranted, even from this character that we know nothing about. We just know that he's kind of like the other dude. And then, yeah, seeing Oscar obviously at his dad's funeral, I got worried because I mentioned it last week. I was like, please don't send him back down like the religious route. We had that little yarmulke on at the beginning. I was like, uh-oh, is he like gone back to religion? No, he didn't. He didn't. Just for the funeral. But yeah, it was definitely nice to at least get a change of pace, though I do like where we end back up at the house too. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I did not imagine Polly to look that way. I was like totally imagining like this buff Jersey dude. I'm like, okay, Polly,
Why did you guys think that? They established that he was like foreign.
but he
And
could
he
be
didn't
Italian.
look
Like I want like Italian.
Yeah,
if I'm
that's
gonna get
what
a
I thought.
Polly, I need some Italian. You know,
When I
like
thought foreign,
Did they
I'm
say he
thinking like
was Italian?
Italian, like you know
Polly
what
just
I
gives
mean?
me
Like,
very Italian vibe. Like that's what that name gives me, is very Italian vibes. So
did he look like you expected, Hannah?
Did what?
Did he look like did you expect him to look that way?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I just expected him to look like a white dude. Like they established that he was like foreign, and the way that he like talked in those voicemails, I just like imagine like mediocre white dude, and that's exactly what he was.
I
So
was thinking like dark Greek or Italian dude, or like I don't know, like I'm like kind of got this like average looking white guy. All right.
I thought European, and that's what he was. So
Yeah. What'd you think about their interaction and just stepping outside of the house for a bit?
it was like my least favorite part of the episode, like 100%. I just don't think the show works as well if it's not Jessica and Oscar on screen. Like they are definitely what pushed the show forward and elevated a bit, because I think the writing was way stronger in the first 3 episodes than it was these last 2 episodes. Even though I love them both, right? I just think that it kind of evolved in a way that felt more movie and TV instead of just like natural flowing conversations, and it didn't feel as, I guess, real to me. So yeah, the conversation with his mom, it felt kind of weird too, because we never got to see like Mara and her family, so it was kind of weird that we got to step into Jonathan's just for a little while. So maybe that's why it felt a little off to me. And then also like the Polly stuff, that's the stuff that felt most like, oh, we have to have plot and movie and like that kind of thing. So
yeah, it was kind of better when they were like just mentioning, right? Because later in the episode, like they have a little interaction about the mother. It's kind of like, all right, now I know that how she looks, so it's not as like, ooh, like, you know, mom hates and disapproves. Like it's not as big of like an anxiety type of thing for me, because it's like, okay, if I didn't know what she looked like I could imagine and think all I want, but now that we've seen her, it's kind of like, oh well, it was that little lady that Oscar Isaac was talking to earlier. So
they also like established like a personality for her now, so it kind of does like take away that like maybe like imaginative thing of being like, I wonder what her and Mara's relationship looked like, and like giving her like, you know, screen time definitely gives you more of a portrait of that. And I feel like the show, I would have loved if the show was just those two in the cast and we just kind of mentioned people like we did it with Ava. We never saw Ava apart from just like
like a quick glimpse.
right, a couple
so that's, and I like that a lot, because it felt just so intimate between, you know, Oscar and Jessica. But once we break that, it just expands a bit more, and it feels like
I think I'm okay with people coming into the house. It didn't feel as jarring because we had a couple people in the first couple episodes, and it felt okay. Like if people are coming into the space for a little bit and then they leave their space, I don't know, it just had a different atmosphere than us running around town or wherever with them and meeting these other people from their life. Plus, we're talking a lot about his dad, and it's not something that was really explored. You know, like I don't know, it just it added a whole extra layer that I don't know that we really needed at that time. So, yeah.
It's almost like, I mean, he said it was like he was trying to get his mom to confess that the marriage wasn't as great as they pretended it was. Like, and I kind of didn't, like you, I didn't need that, but I did. I'm gonna just say this, y'all. I needed an environment outside of that house, y'all. Like, I was getting a little bit claustrophobic. Like, all right, we've been in this house 4 episodes. Can we just get a diner, cafe, something? I'm glad we at least got to step out and get somewhere, because I was getting a little confined to that house, y'all. And I know that that's sort of the point, but like once we moved out of the first 3 episodes and it being about a confined marriage, okay, they have other relationships now. Let's step outside, get a little fresh air, get a little time outside of the house, you know? Because when they're in that house, man, look, I like that house. I like the camera work, love the shot selection. But I'm like, dude, I just can't be in this house no more. After 4 episodes, I was like, thank goodness they're going to a cafe, something.
I would have liked it if it was just them.
So. That's what I was going to say. It could have been the 2 of them talking across the table from one another. Even if they were like reminiscing some of the old times, which we'll get to in a second here. But even if they were reminiscing some old times, like over coffee or in a diner, change it up. Something different. But what's going on, Amanda? Love the finale. You know, I liked it a lot. I will say I liked the finale a lot. Kind of felt a little cliffhangery, but we'll talk about that a little later. But after these conversations conclude, y'all, the 2 meet up again. And it is the anniversary. No, not the anniversary of their marriage. Anniversary of the very first time, y'all, that they got steamy, man. But the anniversary of their first time, they decide to meet up, and they get an Airbnb, and it's that house. And they're back in the house, y'all. Airbnb. We have this occasion that we're quote unquote kind of celebrating here, getting together. Things are going all right. You know, they're reminiscing, they're talking, and Oscar Isaac gets a phone call.
Ooh.
That phone call, there's a lady on the other end. So, okay, you assume, okay, he's got another lady that he's seeing. We then find out it's not just a woman that he's dating. This is his new wife with this new child. How do we feel about the relationship continuing to have a few strings here while Oscar Isaac has a marriage?
It made Jonathan feel a little slimy. Like, I feel like the entire show, Jonathan was put in the light of, you know, perfect husband, and he's doing everything he can to save this marriage, and Mara's the one that's kind of uprooting everybody and, you know, making things difficult. And we touched on that last week, but like now it's like, okay, Jonathan, we have some issues. Definitely gave me a little bit of like, it felt like a totally different character. Like when he was sitting down with Mara and saying like, oh, like past affairs and one night stands. And I was like, okay. It took me for a surprise. But then once he started talking about like, he's never loved somebody the way that he loves Mara. And that like kind of made sense to me. Because I was like, when he was with Mara, he would have never thought of cheating. But being with this other woman who he has a different relationship with, and it's just not that same kind of love that he had with Mara, it made sense. Instead of just like him being a cheater now all of a sudden, I was like, that definitely puts things into perspective for me. Not trying to say that he's right for it, because obviously that woman is sitting at home with his child, and he's having sex with his ex-wife, which is very problematic. But yeah, it was a lot.
I mean, and like when he answered the phone, I was just kind of like, oh, he must have him a little somebody who he's dating, you know, maybe she even knows.
Like the last time when he was still like kind of seeing Mara, they were sleeping in the same bed, and he had a girlfriend or someone that he was seeing.
Was that the same girl? I was gonna ask y'all, was that the same lady?
I don't know if it is the same lady or not, but like it was definitely like casual at that time, so I thought it was like something like that again. But
yeah, I mean, it was shocking when it was like revealed that he married her. It was also a little bit shocking even just seeing that little baby, that child. I was like, oh damn, okay. So like wife and kid chilling at home while he's getting picked up by his ex-wife. But I agree. I mean, it led to an interesting conversation later in the episode that I think honestly is something a lot of people can relate to. That whole loving people differently, and she was like, "Oh, it's sad," but I think it's a more common thing, honestly, is you just sometimes you just love people differently, period. And not talking about like family, platonic love versus romantic. No, no, no. Like romantic relationship love. You just love people differently when you move to one person to the next. So, yeah, he was just in a very interesting place this episode all the way around. But I was shook when that woman and that little child popped up on the screen.
I thought like he went through with having a child of his own, like with a surrogate, and that
Yeah.
was just like the nanny. Like that's what I thought. Because obviously he's like making more money now, and you know all this. So I was like, oh, that just must be like his son that he had by himself and the nanny. But then I must have missed the first baby that he said to her, because I definitely like rewinded the scene. But yeah, when he was like, "Love you," I was like, huh?
Did you say something about a first baby? I'm sorry.
No, like when he answered the phone, he said, "Hey, baby," and I missed that. I must have missed that the first time. No. Imagine you just missed that completely, Leo.
Lord.
Actually, she nuzzled two babies into the little Zoom call. We just
gaslight Leo into thinking there's a second baby.
How would you all feel? Like, not even talking about like going back with your ex-partner or something. How would you feel about getting an Airbnb to a place you used to live in? Just in general. Like if you grew up in a house or something and it was up on Airbnb and you were just like, let me go stay at my old house right quick.
Well, I kind of have a little bit of an experience with that.
Yeah,
with my childhood home, I went and I got to go visit it, and literally seeing everything changed around and it just like not being like our house anymore. I started bawling my eyes out. Like I couldn't be there. I left within like 10 minutes of being there. I was like, I can't. It was like too much.
You could kind of relate to them in this experience, then.
Yeah, I literally the entire time I was watching, I was like, I couldn't. Genuinely.
I don't know. It just seems like it would be so weird to go and stay there again. I don't know.
Okay, so when they stumbled upon the sign that said "Do not enter," did anybody else think that was a dungeon of some sort?
Oh my god, I thought we were about to get some raunchy ass sex scene. I really did. I was like,
you were ready for that 50 Shades action.
I think I've just been like, ever since I started watching this show, like ever since I saw that one scene of them last episode.
You've been ready for anything?
Yeah.
That was peak heat, though. I kind of feel like they put that in, and now I was like, all right, I don't know about y'all, but I was expecting something kind of steamy this episode. Like, we gonna get kind of...
Well, especially because they kept kind of like getting there. They kept like hinting that we were moving that way, and then we would back away like every time, and then we'd get kind of a depressing moment or something.
But I kind of think that like that kind of makes the show really sexy, though, because it like keeps you on like the tip, like just like the edge of your seat, right? And like even just like the small exchanges that they have of just like kind of like breathing or touching each other's faces, and like Jessica, like she tends to say these like really dirty things to him like every episode. It's just like it's very intimate, and you don't really see that in like movies or TV anymore. It really is just like kind of like, oh, here's a sex scene and it's really explicit and whatever. And we did get that last episode, but like even with the first 3 episodes, like it's very intimate, and we rarely see that anymore. So
do families typically put their houses up on Airbnb?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I felt it was just so much weirder. I'm like, what the hell? Y'all going into these children's room and stuff? Like, this is too much. I don't know.
I've been in a place. Practice. Yeah, I was gonna say I've been in a place where a family was like owned the house and lived there, but they had the children's rooms locked. So
That's why
that
I'm
was
like,
weird
it's
to
just-
me. I was
It
like,
seems
That was
very
a little weird.
strange. Like I feel very
Yeah.
strange having children's rooms be open for business at the Airbnb. Like I could just choose to sleep in the bunk bed if I want. Like no, like it ain't right. This needs to be blocked off too. Like
Yeah.
if you blocking rooms off, let these kids have their room. Like what's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, that was kind of weird that they could just gracefully open the door and head right into the kids' rooms. Yeah, that was
So
weird.
what y'all doing in there? But and then having that little was that a little girl's room or what was that up there?
I think it was like a teenager's room, I would think, because they were like there was like all these Polaroids like stacked next to one another. That's what
There
I
was like
assumed.
family pictures up there too. I don't know. I was like, okay, but
it was cute though.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
that's
see, but this
music
is
up
what
there.
happened. See, I was like, no, because then they busted in and had sex in this teenager's bed. Like,
Oh,
what's going
yeah.
on? You know what I mean? Like, it's just
He read the rules off of the Airbnb at the beginning, and it was no pets, no parties, no events. So
They didn't explicitly state do not have sex in our teenager's room. So
I mean, but they did explicitly say don't come up here.
that's true.
Well,
That's
don't
true.
hide your
That-
key.
limits.
Don't hide your key in an obvious place. Don't be stupid.
I mean,
She
Mira
quickly
was
lifted up the
looking.
rug.
Mira said, "Let me go on. I know I can get in here. I'm going in one way or another."
Mara's
I
a smart woman.
Meanwhile, I was like, "Y'all better hope they ain't got like cameras set up in this little house anywhere."
Can
Mess
you
around
run
and
an
hit a-
Airbnb? I don't think you can.
Yeah, you can. I was in
You
the
can?
Canada one, and that one I was in Canada. Yeah, there was a camera. And by the way, if you messed around and did something like
I would have been
spilled
like,
something,
let's
did clean it up,
leave.
$300. So
Wait,
yeah,
where
if
was
they
the
slept
camera,
in that
Leo?
bed,
In the front room?
huh?
Where was that camera?
Just at the door, like so it literally just hit the front door and like part of the kitchen. So like it wasn't
okay.
like he could see
Oh.
me sleeping. and
I
shit.
was gonna say, I would be
What?
Not
like,
like
girl,
They be watching you like that one. What was that movie? The younger brother made last year, directed. The younger Franco brother directed.
I never. With his Allison Brie in it.
Yeah.
What was that
I thought you were
called?
talking about something else. Have you guys ever seen that movie of like that old guy? He rents houses to people, but he like sets cameras up because he's like a perv.
Yes. What is that movie called?
I don't know what it's called, but I remember I watched it so long ago. I thought that's
my
what you were gonna
gosh.
talk about.
No, it wasn't that one, but I was thinking about that one last year. Rental. Wasn't it just Rental?
Yes, that's what it was
by
called.
Dave Franco. Look. Yeah, I mean it wasn't great, but I mean
At least
that's
he's
like
sexy.
that's like peak mess. That's like
Was he in
peak Airbnb
No,
mess.
but if he's a bad director, at least he's sexy. He's not a particularly great actor either, so
Mhm.
I
But
like
I
me
just
some
be
cheese. That's all I'm gonna say.
thinking, I'm like, nah, especially if you're like, don't go in here. Maybe they got a little camera set up to be like, gotcha. I knew you'd come in.
it's like
Coming
a
up the
ring.
steps.
It's like a ring, you know, the doorbell's like outside, like you can
Yes.
speak into it. They're like,
That's
get
it.
the fuck out.
It just is like an intercom as soon as they enter. Like, hi, you've entered the dungeon of. Cause
The
come
door
on, y'all.
closes
Like,
behind you. Jigsaw comes rolling up to the top of the stairs.
oh my god. Do you want to play a game?
See, apparently you want to play too much games, so I got a real game for your ass. Look, we just turned Scenes of a Marriage into a horror film like that in the finale.
Oh my god.
I gotta say, guys, I was kind of bored with that part. I was kind of like, really, like, I
part?
wanted it to be some like real tea, like a dungeon or like something kind of like steamy or some shit. I'm with you, Hannah, though, with like the intimacy because there's like moments in the episode where they kind of nuzzled up with each other on the couch and like that's like really nice. But when they walked in, there's a dungeon in that.
Meanwhile,
Oh my
also,
god.
did she have like some sort of blackout blind thing that closes over the window? Because you can't be sleeping and stuff with these like this.
Well,
you know,
it's the attic though. Who the hell like unless you're
Nobody's looking up.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like the sun coming up at 5 something and 6 in the morning. You gotta wake up on a Saturday. No, no, no. You need like a blackout, something like this is too much. I can't handle all that. No, 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 no.
You don't want the sun rising and waking you
No,
up with a nice shine through the
no,
window.
I do not at all. 0%.
That would be such a beautiful way to wake
No,
up.
no, no, no. I'm good. It was like a greenhouse. Like them windows were so damn big. It was a greenhouse.
Yeah.
Larry,
No.
were we looking at the same? Because I seen a big window like on one of the walls, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's too big. You can't have the whole ceiling be a window to your
Oh
room.
my God.
Ain't
That's
nothing wrong with
crazy.
that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You get that
Lord.
nice fresh sunshine to wake you up every day. Come on now.
No, Leo. Me and Hannah, we don't
Y'all
like to
like
be up at the crack of dawn on the weekend.
true.
If I ain't gotta be up, I'm not trying to be up that early. Okay.
What?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
No,
what
no.
time y'all usually get up on? Because shoot, I'd be up at like 6, 7 o'clock.
What?
Like 2
No.
at
AM?
at the earliest 2 p.m.
Oh.
This is why I love Hannah. She just be putting it on the black.
Like 2, and I'm like 2 a.m. No, motherfucker, afternoon.
Nah.
Larry and me are up all night. Like literally,
Yeah.
we'll be in our group chat at like 4 a.m. Like being like, huh.
Oh, see, I gotta turn in at midnight, folks. Wake up for that 5 o'clock.
And be
Nah.
absent all afternoon.
Yeah, we just go be missing for a few hours, Bill.
Oh my goodness. Well, rounding back into the episode, they waited a little while to reveal how much time had gone by. Do you guys think that was pretty effective? I like that they waited because, like, I was trying to think. I'm like, okay, I was kind of trying to figure it out, like how many years would have gone by. Ava's calling from a friend's house. Like, there's all these little kind of drops and nuggets
Yeah.
in the
I was gonna say,
episode.
I kind of knew already that it's been some time because Ava seemed to be a little more mature. Like she was talking to Mira in a way that I don't think like a 6-year-old would talk to her mother. So I figured it'd been a little bit of time. And then also they gave Jessica a new haircut. So I was like, I feel like that's also trying to indicate that it's been some time.
Yeah, I like that they at least drop it throughout the episode. Like we don't get a time card at the front being like 4 years later or whatever. I like that it just kind of comes up in conversation every episode. And yeah, I didn't think it was too bad to have it come up to be 4 years later.
I did not notice the new haircut,
Well,
but
Leah, I think that's how
I mean, it
Jessica
was
wears
pulled
her hair.
back. It was like
I
pulled
think-
back for a good part
Yeah.
of the beginning, at least. I don't know.
I think that's how Jessica wears her hair, like IRL. So maybe that's why. I think she does have bangs in real life. So
okay, because I was watching, I was like, but now that you mention it, like there kind of is, I guess
Even the
Jonathan
color
has a little more
changed a little
salt than
bit, I
pepper in
feel.
the hair.
yeah,
It seemed a little bit lighter than I don't know. That might just be my imagination.
wait,
but it
Jessica's
Or
hair or
Jessica's
Oscar's?
hair?
Yeah, no, Jessica's. It even seemed like a little bit lighter of a red. I
Oh,
don't know,
I
but
thought it was a little
that's probably
deeper.
just my
didn't notice that.
imagination.
I did notice that Oscar Isaac had a little bit more salt and pepper in his hair.
See, little more salt on that shaker. I was like,
He looks so good though. Oh my god,
that man is a good looking man.
he's
Like,
one
let
of the
me tell
most
ya.
beautiful people ever.
I was like,
truly.
really? Okay, so when she was like talking with Polly and stuff, I'm like, this is who you gonna pick over Oscar? Please, dear Lord, please, somebody get her.
It made me
glasses back.
sick, genuinely.
Surely sick.
Disgusted.
Mhm.
Absolutely disgusted. Well, there's one quote toward the end of the episode before they kind of nuzzle up and go good night, and that's like the end of the episode. You'll always love me is said. Does this feel like a good conclusion to the series? Because I kind of was like, all right, I kind of wanted one more episode. Like before we came live here, I was saying I wanted one more episode. Does anybody else feel that way, or is this like, okay, this is it? Boom, that's the end. We're done.
I don't know if I wanted another episode after this. I think I could have done with one more episode in the season. I do think that this is a good finale, but it maybe would have felt more satisfying.
Concluded. Okay.
Yeah, satisfying if we maybe had one more episode in between this and last week's. Yeah, I think I would have liked to see Mara kind of coming into this woman of being like, I'm okay with being alone, and Jonathan kind of resorting to affairs, and I would have liked to see more of that instead of them just explaining it to each other.
Yeah, because she did describe in the episode that she's the one being okay alone. He's the one that needs an audience for his life. So it was like, okay, it would have been nice to get one more episode to see that behavior, because we kind of didn't really see a lot of that behavior because the series is in the house. Like,
Yeah.
we don't really see them interacting with many others besides their friends in the party at the first episode, and then that's really it besides this one. But Larry, did you feel like we needed one more episode, or do you think that was like it? Boom, we're good.
I think it was an okay ending. Like, I don't dislike where we ended up. It does feel a little bit, I don't know, it's one of those kind of almost open endings. Of course, it's life. They're not dead. So it should feel kind of open, I think, with a series like this. But yeah, I mean, I do think that both people had come to a place of somewhat closure. Maybe not full closure, but once again, this is life. Do we ever really ever feel like we get full closure on things? I don't know. Maybe, but I feel like a lot of times we don't. And so for a series like this, I think leaving it where it was all right. They did a really good job of kind of sucking me back in until they showed that he was married with another child, of being like, well, I know they did some mess last episode, but maybe I
thought they were back together. Yeah, I thought they were back together.
I know,
and just trying to like hide it until
it?
they're ready.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
and then it's like, oh, just kidding. No, he married to somebody else with a
and
child
Mara's
right
fully
now.
aware of it too. That's what really got me. I thought that he was like, because he was like going into the bathroom and like whispering. So I was like, oh, she must not know. And I thought that was going to be like the conflict of this episode. But like he went upstairs and she's like, who's that? And I was fully ready for him to be like, oh, my mom, or like something like that.
Yeah.
But he's like, whatever the fuck her name was. And
Oh, it's
Ethan.
Angie. Yeah,
So-
he
Yeah,
just-
with the baby.
I was like,
And she was like, oh,
and
you were
she
gonna
was like,
leave?
okay with it. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
She
you guys
knew.
are sick.
Right.
Sick people.
Because I was like, oh hell, she's in on it. Polly already knows she's seeing somebody else tonight. So like, I thought the same thing. Like, they were back together. Maybe there was a relationship bubbling up. You mean to tell me this dude got a whole other baby? I literally wrote down. I said, let's see. I said Jonathan got him another boo, and then a bullet point. He got another baby too. I mean, it just like really. I think it'd be okay if it was like just another lady he was dating. I think that it would have been like, okay, it wouldn't have beat me over the head so bad. But when that baby,
Yeah.
when he nuzzled that baby up onto the FaceTime, I was like, okay,
Lord.
I was like, Jonathan. you sick
These-
man.
Then we had him having like a nightmare and waking up. Again, I'm like, okay, are we still in therapy, Jonathan? Because it sounds like we still need to be in therapy, to be honest with you. Having these
Yeah.
dreams while you cuddled up next to her in the teenage bed, running over to open that window and she's freezing. No, she's like, it's cold. We coming into the house.
I could feel that. Like when I was watching it, I like saw like even like before like he opened the window, I was like, I know it's cold as hell in that room.
Like,
And then when he opened that window, I was like, oh girl.
you know
mm-mm.
that shit. That's an uninsulated or barely any heat is getting up to that attic. You got this big ass window that is just absorbing all
why I
that
was freaking out,
coldness.
'cause I know how cold my attic gets in the winter. I was
Lord,
like,
and we saw like mountains, like they shoveled the walkways, but when they were walking into that house, it was like a foot of snow up,
yeah.
up leaning into that. So you know it was freezing. He running over, opening that window. She's like, "Come back, it's cold." But that dream, I thought the dream part, the dream that he ended up explaining was interesting. I didn't like her being like, "Okay, now you're being dramatic." I've liked those moments of her the last few episodes of like, stop trying to like psychoanalyze everything. Now you're just
Yeah.
being dramatic. Chill out, bruh. You know you loved me, what you talk about, and I loved you too. But yeah.
Well, he came to terms. He was like, I'm not trying to be a good person anymore. All that obsession
Yeah.
over that shit.
I mean,
I really love that moment though. When she was trying to go get him like a glass of water, like tend to him, and like I knew where it was going right away because like I feel like everyone's kind of felt like that at some point, just like you don't want like somebody to leave, and I was like I could like feel in that moment that he just like really needed her to be there and like didn't want her to leave even just for that second to go get him a glass of water and just to like be held by her. I was like that really rang like kind of like I don't know, very real to me.
Yeah. Like, I think this is a very realistic look into like a scenario that totally could happen. Larry, you kind of talked me down a little because I was like, this ending is a hard pass, but it's a little more realistic than like just closing the book, because the thing is, their marriage, like their relationship, they had a friendship before it. Like they've known each other for so long. It's probably damn near impossible for them to just say
when they were
goodbye.
talking years, when they started like having that conversation of like it's been 17 years, I think they said.
Yeah,
I was
like that's a long ass time.
I was like, I understand. You can't just walk away from. Obviously, they have a child together, so they can't walk away. Period.
yeah.
But like, I feel like even like I have a cousin who has a child with somebody who she's not with anymore, and they don't want anything to do with each other outside of their kid. But here it's like 17 years. They were only together for like 3. So like, you can't just walk away from a relationship and just be like, okay, I guess we're done.
And
When
I
you're
feel like
in it for 17 years.
And I feel like their scenario really was based around kind of a situation that happened.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like they necessarily, quote unquote, fell out of love with each other. It was the abortion that took place and everything around it, and all of that emotional baggage led to her needing
even
to,
before then.
Yeah, like
when they explained having Ava.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's always different too when you don't know, neither one of you really feels like you genuinely fell out of love with the other one, or you just weren't about that anymore. It was kind of a time and place and something happened. I think it's really hard to move past that or ever. And you can kind of come to terms with what happened and where you are now, but there you are still sleeping in the bed together.
Yeah.
Whether you got a wife on the side or not, this is your real wife. Lord have mercy.
But
oh God.
But I don't know. I guess for me, I was looking for some kind of like, well, we'll still, agree to raise Ava together. Like it just kind of like ended. Like they just kind of
that's implied, Leo. That's implied.
Implied. I want like somebody to say.
I didn't ever think Jonathan or Mara was gonna be like, oh, we're not raising the kid together anymore.
No. I never thought that.
But I'm dropping her off in the morning after the sleepover, and I ain't seeing her again. Peace. Right. Good luck, Jonathan. I'm out.
Right.
Well, it is not that I assume that they would not raise Ava together. Don't get me wrong there. But some kind of agreement that says, like, bro, you got a new fucking wife. Like, we need to have some boundaries. She seemed to just be okay being what she was. And that makes me wonder, too, would the wife be okay?
No.
I mean,
y'all say
no, I feel like that's kind of in line with Ava's character, though. I feel like she always seems to have been a little bit more. Obviously, she's the one who was like, look, I've been with this dude Polly for like the last 6 months, bro. I don't know what I want to do right now, even when that like breakthrough. I feel like she seems the type. She doesn't really maybe want to be full-time with Jonathan anymore, but I think she's cool with an occasional like drive-by with Jonathan, and she's been a lot more open to that kind of stuff this whole time.
Seems that way.
We have that, but also I feel like this like episode talked so much about sex, and like that was such like a huge thing for Jonathan, and it seems like with Mara also, even just that little conversation of being like, good sex can make me think that I'm in love, and Mara being like, like that was an interesting, because it was a bigger topic than I thought it would be in the episode. Like I thought we were just gonna like touch on like Jonathan's affairs, but it seemed like it was like actually like a really huge theme, other than wrapping the show up and this being the finale. It was like sex was such like an important thing, and that wasn't important to Jonathan. I seemed when from the first few episodes. So for it to be such a huge thing now, and it was super important to Mara, like in the beginning. So
yeah, I was gonna say he was like pretty much a non-sexual being.
Yeah.
In the first couple of episodes, and as we progressed, obviously over these last few episodes, this is like ramped up for him. And yeah, she's kind of just stabled out. She definitely seemed like the more stable person in this finale.
It's kind of like they swapped places.
Was more unstable than him. Yeah. Obviously, like from episode 2, I really did think like Mara would be the one that was shaking things up, but now it's like Jonathan is all in on being like, I'm broken and I need help.
Yeah, and I got a kid and I'm down to be with my ex-wife. Like, I'm just like, this dude is self-destructive as hell. Ooh.
Yeah. But he's cool with it. And I mean, having him be like, look, I know she's gonna catch me sometime and I don't really care if we break up.
That's men.
I mean oh, okay, Jonathan. You really, after this marriage, said, I don't care about nobody but me anymore. Maybe my kids a little bit, but even then, not really think about that little boy right now. So,
well, earlier in the episode, the mom was like talking about, oh, my kids be happy. That's bullshit. Like, oh, okay, I guess he inherited the family mantra there.
I mean, listen,
because he was tucked in, tucked in. They went to bed together, and then the episode was over, implying that was their last little night together for a while, at least. Maybe they've got an arrangement, who knows? But that was it.
I didn't take it like that. I think that I took it as they're still going to continue seeing each other no matter what, and it was just like Jonathan said, like a matter of time before she catches them, and he doesn't really care if they break up. It's like he doesn't want to do the dirty work himself, and he'll rather just let it play out. And I think Mara feels the same way.
I think they're gonna wake up and he's gonna be like, all right, goodbye. See ya.
No, Leo, he ain't.
Nah, y'all.
He just had that therapy session. They ain't gonna come back. He gonna be right back.
He gonna keep sneaking around. Which see, one more episode of them sneaking around getting caught.
He gonna be sneaking around.
Oh,
I think that's where it left me off too. Of like, they're never gonna be done. They're never gonna be done with each other. This is one of them. They're gonna just be coming back for one reason or another. They're forced to stay together even if they don't want to see each other anymore for the sake of their daughter anyway, and they want to see each other still. So,
and see, that's all we needed was one little line that said that. That's all we needed was one little line. Hey, you know what? We can keep doing this until we get caught.
I kind of like that this episode was not like there's no argument. They were like on good terms the entire episode. It really was. I feel like we needed that because every other episode it's been just, a huge argument from start to finish, basically. And I love those. I think they're great. But for this to shake up the mold a little bit and be like, no, we're actually going to see, the great side of Mara and Jonathan's relationship and maybe why they were so in love with each other in the first place. I love that.
And I think we needed it after that explosive ending of the last episode. We needed more of an internal episode of them and where they are.
Yeah, because it was nice while we had the 4 episodes of them like arguing and screaming to just reminisce and hear about the good times and the good parts of, their relationship and why they still love each other, the reason why this love is different than their other loves. Like, it was nice to just like take a trip down positive lane for once. Like, because it was just a full-on argument the whole time.
Oh, and I feel like we talk so much shit about like we touched on it a little bit in the beginning of this, but last time that we recorded and talked about the episode, we talked so much shit about like the little openings, but now it's like it makes sense in retrospect to what they're doing because we got to see, I'm assuming what was the payoff is like them, ending the final scene and going to their dressing rooms. We didn't get the little opening. It was just the end. It's like, so I think that worked really well for me, but I still think I would have liked to see the openings that we saw in the first few episodes be a little more consistent.
Yeah, I think the first 2 episodes were consistent because it was like her walking on, him walking on. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it was like, what was that third one? It was like she was walking into a scene or driving up to the house, and I was like, wait, this isn't like in line with them like getting on set. Like she was like being driven up, and I was like, oh, okay. And there's like a crew outside. I'm like, oh, okay. See, this isn't even the same as like the first couple episodes, so it was kind of off. I don't know if I liked it. I don't know if I liked it as the exit that much. No? I was kind of like, just give me an answer and then fade to black, bro.
See all the people running out there with the robes to like wrap them up.
Right. Come on, get your robe on. Go back to your little dressing room. Y'all still holding hands and shit. Man, look. Tell me what the arrangement's about to be. Y'all about to still sneak around and shit. And then cut to black, man. Scenes from a marriage. Boom, we're done. I'm just saying, I don't think I needed it. Didn't need it as an intro. Don't think I needed it as an outro. But Larry,
I didn't think we needed it. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with that. I mean, we didn't need that outro, but I think it worked better than the intros as a whole.
Fair.
And I think it's a nice little wrap up. Again, I think the series, they have, again, the thing to harp on in this series is these 2 leads just had such good chemistry, and it just felt so authentic that, I don't know, I kind of like it as a breakup as you're thinking, as you're reminiscing on what you just watched, and you didn't need maybe you need something to break you out of what you just watched a little bit. And I think this works better than just showing the front yard, showing the lampshade, like the little landscapes. You can kind of wind down with the actors as we put the series to a close.
See, we could have got that this time. The little keep outdoor. We could have got like a little bit of a candle.
Outdoor.
Go back to the window. Show the window. The fucked up bed.
I'm gonna make a remake, kind of, except not really. I'm just gonna snatch the idea. I'm gonna go ahead and make my own version of The Rental, but like a legit horror. We ain't playing like that one did. We're gonna do a little bit of our ideas here. They're gonna try to get in, and gotcha.
I would watch a horror movie starring Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain.
Absolutely. I mean, you say either of their names, I'm already there.
Right.
But guys, that wraps up Scenes from a Marriage. This is our last episode. No more episodes of that, but looks like Jonathan and Mara kind of got their little ending, y'all. Hopefully the best is ahead of them. And little Ava. Hopefully she grows up to be a great entrepreneur or something. But Larry, what's coming up on your channel, and where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, so after our last episode, I started a new little segment on my channel called The Thirst Report, which will be discussing this episode a little bit, as well as some other news in the world of being a thirsty biche like I am. And that should be posted tomorrow. All these Pokemon behind me are there because I just did a reaction to the new Pokemon movie that released on Netflix this weekend, which should be up maybe Tuesday. I also plan on reacting to Halloween Kills this week, and maybe I'll review The Last Duel. I don't know. We'll see. But that is basically my plan. Plus, you'll catch me talking with... nope, never mind. Leo ain't going to be there this week. But you can oftentimes find Leo talking with me over on my channel about sports, particularly the NFL. We'll still have Leo's picks in for the week. But yeah, Sports Talk Live on Wednesday.
Guys, be sure to follow them and tune in to the upcoming content. We got some Pokemon coming up. We got sports talk
Yeah.
and my new favorite.
How do
the
we
thirst
go
report.
from sports to Pokemon to thirst? I don't know, but that's what's happening on the channel
Versatile.
right now.
Very versatile.
Versatile. That's
Don't worry,
see?
I'll be taking these plushes down. It's not appropriate for the thirst report to have these little plushes back here, but you know.
All right, you said it, not me. But Hannah, where can the people find you? What you got coming up?
You can find me at Rejected Hannah on Twitter, and you can also find me on Cinemania World on the live show. Hopefully, we'll have one out soon. And also, I'll be live tweeting you season 3 this weekend.
Ooh.
So definitely look for that. That'll be fun. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to your thoughts on you season 3 because I just finished up a couple nights ago and whoo, crazy.
Did you like it?
She was shook binge watching season 2.
Listen, I didn't know anything about it. That's why. I
Love
literally knew
Quinn
nothing
was-
about the show.
Shook.
I mean, I gotta say, like
Shook
getting
the
into
house
season
down.
2, I was shook up. I mean, let me tell you, love Quinn. I did not see that coming, and then when it happened, I'm not gonna ruin it for Larry because we want to get him into it. But when it happened, I did.
I had like a mental breakdown.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I
It
was
comes
like,
out
okay.
on Friday, Gustavo.
Oh,
See?
Gustavo, what up, man? Yes,
And see, this
Friday.
is my problem. There's not enough steam in the series You to even make it on my thirst report. So
No, that's where you're wrong. That's
There's
where
some
you're
steamy
wrong. Listen,
Ain't
I
even
didn't think it
enough.
was either because I heard it was a Lifetime show. The first season
Yes.
is associated with Lifetime, but even
But
like
it's
the first
still-
season is like
yeah.
we were dropping
Well, okay,
F-bombs. Like we
hold
were.
up. Since when did BET start showing full frontal male nudity? Tyler Perry has a damn show on that BET that is about male strippers. And I saw a clip from that mess that had full male frontal nudity. And I was like, since when, BET? Also, Tyler, you know we already looked at you a little bit suspect. The way you've been producing your shows recently has been a lot of focus on the male body. So I'm just going to leave that there.
I had no idea about this, but I'm surprised to hear it's on BET as well.
See,
Because
this is the
BET usually be
Tyler
like,
Perry and Zack Snyder. You guys are very sus to me.
sus.
Listen, the problem with Tyler Perry, though, is he'll go from spouting off Bible verses to male full frontal nudity in the next 5 minutes. And you're like, whiplash, like, oh, okay.
BET is
the
like on
repression
Sunday
is
we do
real.
gospel. On Saturday, we're going to do full frontal male nudity for your ass. Like, oh, okay. Well, Black
was
Entertainment
Oh
Television,
my
folks.
god.
Listen, this is why I'm doing the thirst report, because even when I don't watch the show, I know about
He
the
finds
show.
out. He
I'm
finds
telling
out.
you, Larry, you season 3 needs a thirst report. I'm just going to say it
Listen,
right now.
I watched that trailer and I have an
There's
opinion.
some thirst.
I have an opinion on Mr. Penn, whatever the fuck his last name is,
Penn
right?
Badgley.
Yeah, I don't think that he's like the most attractive in my opinion. But listen, I was watching that You season 3 trailer and I was like,
Maybe.
I need a minute.
Joe done grown up a little bit on you.
Yeah,
but
I was shook. I was shook the house down.
there was
So-
okay. So I'm like, okay, he kind of average. Then there was like one episode he busted out an outfit. I was like, all right, Joe, you kind of clean today, man. If they see
whenever
you like
whenever
that,
they put him in like a sweater, that's when I'm like, I
Turtleneck.
see the vision.
that's
yeah.
the turtleneck. for
Hannah,
him.
she is a sucker
Turtleneck,
for a good sweater.
nice shoes, good pants.
It's
Like that's
true.
the look for him.
But he'll never be Dexter Morgan. Never be Michael C. Hall. That's where I stand.
That well,
He-
I had
he a
never
little bit
seen
more
an episode of
attractive to
Dexter.
Michael C. Hall to me, but that's just me.
What?
I
What'd
said
you
he's a
say?
little bit more attractive than Michael C. Hall to me, but that's just me. I also never watched
Okay.
Dexter.
Same.
You gotta watch Dexter to get it. You
You gotta get into Breaking Bad though.
Mhm,
mean,
yeah.
I will say I would choose Breaking Bad just because I know that the ending is solid and Dexter's is not.
Yeah.
So that would definitely put Breaking Bad higher on my watch list than Dexter.
Yeah.
But there's a movie coming out. You get your little special or whatever it was. So
It's not a movie, it's a new season. Larry.
oh,
Have you
Okay.
guys seen Midnight Mass? I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't watched it, Leo?
Not yet. I haven't seen Alyssa's older twin yet.
You haven't seen
haven't seen
Alyssa's nephew
Larry is
debut?
so sick for that. Genuinely so sick.
She looked just like Alyssa.
Everyone that's watching has no idea what the fuck we're talking about, but
Look at mainly movies on
just
YouTube.
know that Larry is a sick man.
Maybe I'll edit a little
from
picture.
watching Midnight Mass, Gustavo.
None of
Oh
us have
my
watched Midnight
God.
Mass, but I take your word on him, Gustavo. You have great taste.
I've heard
but
nothing but great stuff about it. so.
nothing but great things. Nothing but great. I mean, it's Mike Flanagan. I liked his other two series a lot, Hill House and Black Manor.
I
Like
haven't
Black
watched
Manor a
those
little
either.
piece more. What?
I didn't like Hill House or Bly Manor. I tried to watch both and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Blind Manor, I loved. Like I was like, I'm a 9.5 out of 10 on
I
this.
tried. I just couldn't. I'm over like paranormal stuff. That's where I stand.
Oh, okay, well, that's all that is then. So
Yeah. That just doesn't do it for me anymore.
I hear it. You know, when you get so much of something, I can totally understand. Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, let's back it up. Well, Marvel though, you can release 5 more movies on us tomorrow. We'll be
Listen,
all right.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone. Goodbye. I'm
Miss
feeling
Shang-Chi
I'm
15
fe-
times
I'm
down
feeling very called out.
there.
No.
Well, guys, coming up on Geekly Goods, you can find You Season 3, the review tomorrow. I've got a special interview coming at you on Tuesday as well. And then Wednesday, we've got Halloween. Thursday, we've got Titans. And then Friday, I will have a reaction for Halloween Kills as well. So I am so excited, guys. We're in the midst of October. A lot going on, but tune in Saturday for DC Fandom as well. And guys, that is going to be like amazing to have a new
You
Batman
season
trailer
3 and fandom back to back.
back to back, and Halloween Kills on Friday too.
You watching Halloween Kills?
Keep
Hannah?
it. No.
All right, well, we're gonna end it on that note, y'all. Thank you so much for coming through. Their information is down in the description, so definitely be sure to check them out on their channels and podcasts. And guys, we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.